Welcome back to 8-Minute Masterpieces, where we summarize the greatest literary works in just 8 minutes. Today, we're diving into Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, a novel that explores the quest for spiritual enlightenment, self-discovery, and the meaning of life. Ready to take a journey through ancient India with a man searching for truth? Let's go! The story begins with Siddhartha, a young man who lives in ancient India. Born the son of a respected Brahmin, Siddhartha's early life seems full of promise. He's handsome, intelligent, and well-versed in the sacred teachings of his religion. But despite all of this, he feels empty. He believes that the traditional teachings of the Brahmins, while valuable, aren't enough to lead him to true enlightenment. So Siddhartha decides to leave his comfortable life behind. He and his friend Govinda join a group of ascetics called the Samanas. These wandering holy men believe in self-denial and asceticism as the path to spiritual awakening. Siddhartha embraces this lifestyle, starving himself, enduring physical suffering, and renouncing all worldly pleasures in his quest for wisdom. After years of practicing extreme self-discipline, Siddhartha realizes that asceticism is not the answer either. His spirit is still restless. When Siddhartha and Govinda hear about the Buddha, also known as Gautama, they travel to meet him, hoping to find the answers they seek. Siddhartha is impressed by the Buddha's teachings, but remains skeptical. He respects the Buddha's wisdom, but he believes that enlightenment cannot be taught. It has to be experienced individually. Govinda decides to stay and become one of the Buddha's followers, but Siddhartha continues his journey alone, determined to find his own path. Leaving behind the spiritual world, Siddhartha enters the material world. He meets Kamala, a beautiful courtesan, and becomes fascinated with her. Kamala agrees to teach Siddhartha about love, but only if he first learns the ways of wealth and success. Siddhartha begins working for a merchant named Kamaswami, and over time he becomes wealthy and successful. At first, Siddhartha enjoys this new lifestyle. He indulges in material pleasures, including gambling, fine clothes, and luxuries, all while maintaining his relationship with Kamala. But eventually, this worldly life begins to drain him. Siddhartha feels increasingly empty, realizing that wealth and physical pleasures are just as unsatisfying as asceticism. Disillusioned and disgusted with himself, he abandons his life of luxury and wanders into the wilderness. At his lowest point, Siddhartha contemplates ending his life. But while sitting near a river, he hears the sound of the water, and something changes within him. The river seems to speak to him, revealing a deeper understanding of life's interconnectedness. He realizes that everything in life is part of a larger, unified whole, constantly flowing like the river. Siddhartha decides to stay by the river and live simply. He befriends a humble ferryman named Vasudeva, who teaches him the wisdom of the river. Through this peaceful, contemplative life, Siddhartha finally begins to find inner peace. He learns to listen to the river, which reflects the cyclical nature of existence, birth, death, and rebirth. Years later, Siddhartha unexpectedly reunites with Kamala, who is now seeking spiritual refuge after the Buddha's death. She brings with her a surprise: Siddhartha's son, who she raised after Siddhartha left the city. But their reunion is short-lived, as Kamala soon dies from a snake bite. Siddhartha, now a father, tries to care for his son, but the boy resents his father's simple lifestyle and eventually runs away. Siddhartha is heartbroken, but this experience helps him fully understand the nature of attachment and suffering. He realizes that just as he had to follow his own path, so must his son. This acceptance of life's impermanence and the need for everyone to find their own way is a key part of Siddhartha's final enlightenment. By the end of the novel, Siddhartha achieves the inner peace he has been seeking his whole life. Through his journey, from the life of a Brahmin to the asceticism of the Samanas, to the indulgence of the material world, and finally to the quiet life by the river, Siddhartha comes to realize that enlightenment is not found in doctrines or teachings, but in experiencing life in all its forms. The river, always flowing yet always the same, becomes a metaphor for the unity of all things, for the eternal cycle of life. And there you have it, The Journey of Siddhartha, a timeless story about the search for meaning, self-discovery, and the balance between the material and spiritual worlds. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like and subscribe to 8-Minute Masterpieces. For more insightful literary breakdowns, we've got more timeless classics coming up, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on 8-Minute Masterpieces.